the message to people is just please God and just do what you want correctly and go and do it now. Don't wait. I'm sick and tired of not being grateful for the small things because, as I said to you earlier, they can go. If I want to climb a mountain, I need to start prepping for that. If I need to earn $1 million, I need to start figuring it out now. I can't say badai tomorrow maybe. You can have your small little issues now and then, but you just have to wake up and say it's not worth it. All in all, we're good. But 190,000 cigarettes went into my body
Jesus
in 25
Christ.
years, man.
Yeah, bo. We're live again.
Again.
For the second time. Butch, this is episode 8.
My man.
Thank you for being back.
No
now,
worries.
to be honest, I think for those watching in, this is not exactly Art Cafe.
It's better than Art Cafe.
Yeah, Butch didn't like the first podcast. He's like, no, we need to do it again.
Take 2 for Butch, yeah? Always.
No, we just had some technical hiccups, but you learn about these things.
Yeah.
But here we are. We're moving forward in a new setting, a new scene, new chapter.
Absolutely.
Butch, how have you been, my brother?
Good.
What
December. The year is over, man. It just started and it's done.
What have you been up to since we last met?
Traveled a bit. Decided to weight train. I stopped doing cardio for 3 months, 2 months almost. And I gained some weight.
That's seriously Siri. Let me just put this on. Do not disturb. Sorry, you were saying?
Jesus. Just ask the question again.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You've not had any sleep. You in fact, you've been awake for 24 hours right now. I think we need to get to the bottom of that eventually. Yeah. But my question was, so what have you been up to since December? Actually, we met in November.
We met in November, right?
Starting of November, right?
Okay. No, just went into a bit of training more. Relaxed a bit on the cardio. Just kind of understanding where to go next year.
Right.
I have a goal.
Which we're going to talk
Very
about.
cool goal for next year.
Okay.
Yeah. So mentally preparing for that, and I think just testing my body with a few different ideas, food and training. So that's been me for the past, I think 5-6 weeks. Yeah.
Interesting. So for those of you that don't know who Butch is, I just want to read something that he sent me, which is his usual workout routine. I think it's insane. He thinks it's normal. So anyway, this is what he gets up to in a week, right? 11 kilometers swimming, 200 floor walks, 30 kilometers running, 100 kilometers cycling. Is Nairobi even 100 kilometers of road?
I mean, yeah.
1,200 press-ups, 5 kilometers hill run repetitions, 2,000 sit-ups. Where's your abs? Show me your abs.
No.
Core training and a 35-kilometer walk. Butch, maybe let's start off with the perfect question. Who is Butch and what motivates him to do all this?
So 4 years ago, I was a heavy drinker and an avid smoker. I was doing about easily a pack a day. And when you go out drinking, you can do maybe 2 pack. Easy. And then mom passed away very unexpectedly. And then my dad says to me, like, just can we have less pain in the house now? In the sense, we need you more. And I just quit. I dropped the cigarettes and I stopped drinking, because when you live with your wife, obviously, for example, and then your mom lives with your dad, and then one of the parents disappear, you kind of adopt your other parent. So then, dad became part of the family, obviously more. And I needed to be more there for him and for my wife, Sonia. So I decided the best way to be there is by being healthier. To be honest, healthy, because I was not healthier. I'd smoke, I'd inhale my inhaler, I'd smoke. So I was inhaling about 17 times a day. I was buying an inhaler almost every 10 days. It was mad. I couldn't run more than 50 meters. Things were bad. So that's what inspired me to kind of get onto my journey. And I was a big fat guy as well.
I remember that. In fact, we actually met at a gym, which was, I believe, it's been years. I think it was 2011, the first time we met, or 2010. Do you remember that?
Nadiano.
Nadiano
Yeah,
Fitness.
on Raptor.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember coming into the gym, and one thing I noticed about you is you're always smiling. You're always in a positive mood. And for me, who usually my mood goes with the wind, it was a breath of fresh air to see. But then what I remember most is we had met at Art Cafe. You were with Sonia, and I was on a date. And we were coming up, and we had just interacted at the gym a few weeks, and I was telling you, you need to eat healthy. You need to...
Aha!
Exactly. You do remember that, yeah? You need to do this.
Now I remember.
What-
Now I remember it. Yeah.
I remember you sitting there. I think it was a pasta penne. You're like, Paji, listen, tomorrow is another day. Let's start off. And now the tables have turned where you're in the best shape of your life. And I put on so much weight, I could represent what you actually were.
Yeah, well, to be fair, let's not say you're we've turned the tables, man. You have come a long way yourself, Sajid. So you've lost about 14 kilos since your journey. This whole, the entire coffee pump plan, your training, your mindset, the reasoning behind what you do. So I think you're on your own amazing journey. So
Thank you for that.
So I flipped it around for my reasons. You flipped it around for yours. So yeah, well done, man.
So, again, thank you so much for that. Still a long way to go, but when I see someone like you, they're usually bouts of my energy has momentum, right? You get motivated to do things, and then it falls off, and then you veer off the road. For you, it seems as though you just don't have quit in you now. It's very different. You have to do, regardless of motivation, come rain or shine, you're out there working out. What's the motivation now? What's the end goal for you to reach? Is there something you're aiming for that's driving you this hard and this far?
I'll tell you, Sajid, this, yeah? Like, this year I did some pretty crazy stuff. And the plan was to just keep achieving. So every year you try and, what do? You try and level up, right? If I don't have a goal, then I suppose I get bored and I'll stop. So what I've learned to do is give myself a goal every 3 months that I need to do something. And I can't just do the same thing. So what keeps me motivated is one thing, having a goal. But then what drives me to get to the goal is the fact that, your calling is many things. It could be work, it could be business, it could be spiritual, it could be anything. But when you find something that's really special and you can do it really well, if you don't hone it, and I meet so many people who are naturally gifted, if you don't hone that gift, then I think you're wasting it. So what I did is, I don't know whether it's genetic through dad, mom, or through school in St. Mary's and all, but I learned how to just be really good at what I do in all the sports and activities I do. So I said, if I can keep getting better, then just keep going for it. So you get injured, you get hurt. Believe me, I've had everything. And you just keep going because you're good. Without sounding arrogant, you're good, you can get better. And I'm 48, so I wish I'd started earlier. But the thing is, if I can keep doing this until I'm later, older in my older years, then I won't be stunned. It won't be hard for me. There's also the fear that I don't want to be like this or whatever when I'm older. So let me just keep going. So there are different motivations that are keeping me.
I respect that.
Yeah.
You're a man with a goal, and you're working towards achieving that. I want to touch a bit about your background. Did you grow up in Nairobi?
Yeah. Grew up in Nairobi. Nairobi West, actually.
Really? Funny thing, Dad grew up in Nairobi.
Yeah.
Right?
This used to be the hood, man, back then.
Yeah, in
Nairobi
fact,
West, yeah.
Funny thing is, my granddad and them, I forgot to tell you this, they had a house in Nairobi West. So after they moved, I think from Meru, granddad went to Garissa, and then they came to Nairobi West before they ended up moving to General Matenge.
Yeah.
But for the longest time, Dad and them grew up here. He went to Jamhuri.
I don't know what school Dad went to.
Yeah.
I really don't remember. But yeah, Nairobi West, and then ended up in Parklands ultimately, then Lavington, etc. But St. Mary's is the school.
And that's why that really makes sense as to why we connect. At the core of it, I think we just have the St. Mary's DNA in us.
Come on.
it doesn't matter where this individual is, as long as he has more than 2-3 years embedded in him. And in fact, not more than 2-3 years. Let's say you have to have gone for 8+ years in Saints to be a certain kind of Jama that I think it's something we connect. It's like our Bluetooth sync or something, right?
You know
Whenever
what?
you see someone from Saints.
The arrogance. I'm sorry, I'm not an arrogant guy, but I'm arrogant about St. Mary's, man. Because that school taught you so many things. It taught you how to be, I think, a full-rounded human.
Right.
Having 3 fathers, 1 beating you at home and 2 beating you in school. Fantastic.
Mine wasn't a father. Mine was Sister Jerome. Listen, I loved that woman to bits, but Sister Jerome used to whoop my ass. And I think it was just because I was the only Mwindi in the class at that time.
Yeah.
Like, she used to come and she's like, this guy is just up to no good.
I think he's got a whoopable ass.
She would come in and devise new ways
Yeah.
to whip my ass, man. You know, in fact, the thing is, I think she wanted me to slowly to transfer into being a Catholic. So
Right.
she would tell me, stand in line. I'm like, what am I standing in line for?
Yeah.
I'm like, it doesn't matter, just stand in line.
Yeah.
I'd come home on Ash Wednesday with a cross on my forehead.
Yeah.
Apparently, I received communion and I didn't know. So I'm actually
You've been
Catholic.
baptized.
I've been baptized. I swear, she tried to convert me.
Excellent.
And that, you know, the thing is about Saints, it's the discipline that it instilled in you. It was a boys' school.
Yeah.
In fact, you were so focused.
Yeah.
I did not know what a woman looked like till I went to a mixed school in my late teens after Saints.
Okay.
But it was just, man, it was just boys. It was camaraderie. It was focusing on studies
Sports.
for the most part. Black rock, rugby.
We own it.
You know?
We owned it.
Maybe let's touch on that. Tell me about your fond memories from Saints. Do you have any that stand
plenty. My God, go having lunch on the Saints pitch at lunchtime, and then all the hawks coming and stealing your food and just cutting you everywhere. Being sidelined during assembly in the morning by Father Hogan because you're just a loser.
out? Also you.
Kabisa, -5 on Fridays and getting beaten by your parents. The hot dogs you're given on a Friday in the hall because of doing really well. That was very few and far between. BlackRock was, I mean, the time when we beat Rift Valley Academy, we were the only school in Kenya that choppered them for the first time ever. You know what I'm saying? So
That
it was
must have been
magic. Amazing, good stuff. So like, I mean, the teachers were cool. Used to get beaten. We used to go and ring the bell randomly because we could, and all of a sudden it's lunchtime at 11. You know, and the guys are like, really? Lunchtime at 11?
Let me ask you this. How much were chips back then when you went to school?
Jesus Christ, 12 bob?
12 bob?
8 bob?
Okay, so when I went...
I was in the 80s, right?
So when I went in the 90s, chips was 30... So it was 12 bob, then it went to 30 bob. When my brother went in the 2000s, it was 70 bob. I wonder what the prices are right now.
McFries, tell us. How much is chips?
There was something to do with the chips over there. It was just like magical.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, they're called 1-to-1s, where you put a sambusa into a what? Into a?
Was it into a
what?
donut?
Into a donut. See,
A
it's called
combi.
1-to-1.
It's called a combi.
It's called a combi.
Combi, yeah.
It's a combi, right?
For those people that don't know, combis are the greatest inventions in school ever. And I think they were probably...
In Kenya, man.
They were probably invented in St. Mary's.
Yep.
You take a deep-fried donut and a deep-fried samosa and you wrap them up.
Yeah.
And you have heaven in your mouth.
Or a sosla. You have a sosla and a donut as well.
Yes. That was actually pretty interesting. Mandazi and sausages would connect.
By the way, it was mandazi. It was not a donut.
No, combi was donut and samosa, yeah? Jesus. I think the other one was sausages.
Okay.
But at least, you see, that's one thing Saints guys connect on.
Yeah.
We all had combis at one point in our life.
And also we're given combis.
Okay, so you went there from class 1 all the way till Form 4?
Yeah, 1981, standard 1 till 94. 13 years back to back.
Apparently Uhuru Kenyatta was there too.
Yeah, I think he was about 11, 12 years ahead of us.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I remember, so I actually became a blue tie.
Jesus,
Now-
you're one of the goody two-shoes.
No. Funny thing is, so just to preface this for those of people listening in and watching, a blue tie in St. Mary's is basically a prefect of junior school.
Yeah.
And then a black tie is a prefect for the entire school.
Yes.
Now, in my particular case, I was a noisemaker. So
Right.
imagine this scene. My mom and dad are sitting there. I come home one day and I'm having I have a blue tie strapped on. And my dad is like, where did you steal this from? And my mom was even confused. She's like, how does Sajid
Have a blue tie.
have a blue tie? Now, a bit of context to that story. I didn't know until many years later, Mr. Makumi, rest in peace, I had gone and I asked him why he gave me that tie. And what he ended up saying is like, look, you were the head of the criminal organization. You would make noise, you would cause havoc, everyone would rally behind you. So when we sat with Mr. Washira, do you remember him?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the head teacher of junior school.
Yeah.
He asked, how do we control this class? Because the blues just seem to get it out of hand. And they're like, there's this boy called Sajid, in particular, who's a noisemaker, amongst others. They're like, what if we step out and we make the head of the criminal organization the head of the police department and give him responsibility for both?
Smart.
So it can either go really good or really bad.
You're weaponizing narcos. I
So
like it.
basically what ended up happening was when they gave me that responsibility, I was like, holy shit, this now falls on me. And I was now responsible because if anyone made noise, it was on me.
Yeah.
But if anyone did well, it was on me.
Nice.
Grades started going up, people started calming down. My name was less on the chalkboard. And it worked. And that's the caliber of teachers in St. Mary's.
Smart. Yeah.
But of late, though, not many people are commenting positive things, but I don't want to comment because I don't have first-hand experience.
Let's
But
just keep the memories,
let's
man.
keep the positive mememories.
There we go.
So, DNA-wise, we are quite similar.
Absolutely.
You grew up in Nairobi. Do you have any siblings? Are you a solo boy? Coffee pump, you're normally supposed to have coffee.
Absolutely.
So I hope you're
There
enjoying
you
the home-brewed coffee this time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we were at... tell me about growing up.
Right.
do you have any
Siblings.
siblings?
My sister's in South Africa. She's now in Cape Town. She was a lawyer. And then
Cape
she
Town
did-
is beautiful.
It's beautiful, huh?
I think it is, for anyone that's not been, for Kenyans that have not been, it's visa-free.
Yeah.
So you can just show up.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most scenic places. I think it's affordable.
Yeah.
And from a culinary perspective, you can't go wrong. I think it's one of the best culinary destinations globally. Though, keep your wits about you. That's all I'll say.
It's, 4 seasons in a day?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's beautiful out there. So she's out there. She's doing very well for herself, touch wood. My brother's up in London. He's been there like 20-something years, 30 years, I think.
Okay.
And I'm here. Obviously, my dad's here. And that's the scope of our family.
Are you middle?
Second born, the one who got a kicking.
So you're basically like me. You're the middle child.
Yeah, just middle child syndrome, man. Just beaten, hated. Everything's your fault.
It was the opposite for me, by the way.
I hate you, man.
No, for me, I think I'd like to say I was my parents' apple of their eyes. I was expensive to love.
Me, the apples are being thrown at me.
Okay, so how's your camaraderie now with your siblings? Have you found over time, even though given the distance, are you guys closer than you were growing up? How has that worked given the separation and you guys are in different sides of the world?
Look, there's always going to be beef in families with siblings, but what you got to do is just understand what the bigger picture is. Yeah,
Right.
You can have your small little issues now and then, but you just have to wake up and say it's not worth it. All in all, we're good. My sister and I are cool. My brother and I are cool. Just do what we have to do, man.
Alhamdulillah.
Everyone's gonna beef, man. You just have to understand: is it really worth beefing or just beefing?
Right.
Yeah.
For the sake of it.
Yeah. Simple.
Yeah, I guess all families have a few nuts, right?
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
that's what makes life colorful.
And we're the coolest middle child.
Now, you're this fascinating guy. You go to St. Mary's, you work out like crazy. But what's your 9 to 5, Butch?
I have an HR firm.
That makes sense.
There you go.
That makes so much damn sense as to why
Why?
you're a people person.
Oh,
Like, I literally came in here, you're engaging with the host, you're talking to Vish's sister, you're like, it's just the energy about you. I don't think I can leave you alone. You'd never be the solo camping guys. You'd probably go mad.
I mean, HR people fascinate me. People watch. I can talk to people all day long. I can speak to all walks of life. I love it. I don't do it because I just think it's a cool thing. I do it because I just enjoy doing it.
Okay.
I love just connecting with human beings.
And so you've got like a HR consultancy firm that you advise people, or do you...
Advise, I recruit, so I do corporate training.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Do you have any elements of sales about you? Like, have you ever worked in sales?
I mean, I train sales. It's one of my fortes. I also train in hospitality. Everything in life is selling. I'm selling myself to you now. This mic is selling itself to whoever's watching because of it's whatever it is. Everything sells. People sell each other to each
Correct.
other. So it's like not each other. They sell, one another to one another kind of thing. So I've trained sales. I've been in sales. I love selling. I used to love selling. Kind of tired listening to my voice now, but I've sold a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
I think sales is honestly the best job for anyone to start off with if they're not sure what they want to do in life.
There's a saying. A lot of people say that, you have core values. An engineer has a core value, a lawyer, and a mathematician, an artist, but selling has a core phenomenal, like there's something within you that not a true salesperson has a different core from another person. You need to be, have a bulletproof vest. You need to be able to understand yeses and nos, and you need to be built in a certain manner to be able to sell. So that core value, having it, I think it's one of the toughest things to do.
And most rewarding, though.
Yeah, I mean, a sale is a sale.
Man, there's... Like I will tell people is it helps build mental calluses. It's a job that you don't get instant gratification not often. It takes time. You have to build relationships, which teaches you lessons about learning about people's characters, what their expectations are. It teaches you the truths of the world.
Yeah.
That the world is a very dog-eat-dog world.
Absolutely.
People are only looking out for themselves.
Yeah.
For the most part, it gives you an ability to see through all that, manage expectations. Now, there are very traditional ways of doing it, and there are very modern ways of doing it. Traditional ways I feel are a bit more, this is my product, this is what it does. You're gonna regret not buying it. Versus the modern approach is, what can I do for you? Right, maybe I don't have the product, I can source it out for you or help you out with someone, but tell me what your problems are. Let me try and find you a solution.
Absolutely.
And that's what we are. We're problem solvers at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
I think that says, it's funny, you have these points, these touch points in your character that I can correlate to. So the element of saints, the sales aspect, which you're turning out to be an interesting guest, Bana.
Thank you, buddy.
So I know we talked briefly about your fitness journey, and I'm sorry to hear to the troubles you went through that pushed you in, and the unfortunate incidences in your life that forced you to wake up. You used to smoke.
Yeah, mingi sana
You used to
bwana.
drink. Now, did you stop cold turkey? My question really is, what steps would you advise to people who want to quit drinking and quit smoking? What are the things they should do?
I swear to God, man, if you don't just cut and stop, you just don't. There's no such thing as decreasing it, or it's just if you want it bad enough, anything in life, you just go for it. Like, it's a simple formula. I didn't want to do it anymore, and I stopped. If I want to climb a mountain, I need to start prepping for that. If I need to earn $1 million, I need to start figuring it out now. I can't say badai, tomorrow, maybe. I went cold turkey, and I recommend it for anyone else to stop doing all these things. Just go cold turkey. You will struggle, but if you want it bad enough, the struggle isn't there. I could have easily picked up a cigarette the next day when we were, burying mom or cremating mom, etc. But I didn't. I knew I needed to live, man. So if I'm just going to make excuses for not living, I would not have succeeded. So just don't. Just stop cold turkey.
Completely.
Kabisa.
Was it hard for the first couple of weeks?
No, man. I knew what I had to do with my dad, so.
And you'd been smoking your entire life?
20-some. I worked it out. About 190,000 cigarettes went into my body.
Jesus
in 25
Christ.
years, man. Imagine that. That's a lot of smoking.
And here you are running marathons now.
Yeah, man.
And speaking of marathons, I recently saw on your social media you completed some ridiculous long distance journey. Could you perhaps maybe tell me more about that?
Yeah, so in March, in Feb, I was asked to ride to Mombasa. And I said, was that a motorbike or a bicycle? And they said a bicycle. And I said, really? I can run a bit and I can swim a bit, but I don't know if I can cycle that much. And then I trained hard. I did about 2,000 kilometers of training. I was in Namanga every weekend doing loads and loads of training. And then I cycled to the coast.
What were you doing in Namanga?
Cycling to Namanga every weekend.
And how many kilometers is that?
130?
Paji?
140?
You're giving him wrong. He wants to cycle to Mombasa.
So, okay, here's the thing. Like,
Let's do it.
No, it's...
I said, let's do it. No, listen.
Wait. Before we get excited, like, for maybe you're aware of my goals for the year, right? Obviously, to lose 20 kilos, to get 1,000 subscribers, to get out of your comfort zone and do things. And it seems for the most part, we're heading in the right direction. Hopefully, before the end of December, we're going to achieve all of our goals. Let's say that.
Yes, sir.
Next year, the plan is to do it bigger and better. Get me out of my comfort zone.
You want to
even
level up.
further. And when we first spoke, you told me about this marathon thing. I was telling Vish, why don't we document it? Why don't I say, look, I want to cycle to Mombasa? As a guy who's not cycled since he was maybe 7, 8, who has no cardio stamina, whose knees are shot to shit, who has lower back issues, let's commit saying before the end of 2024, Sajid will cycle. Nah, already put it out here. So Sajid will cycle too.
You've manifested
Mombasa.
into the universe. You're cycling to the coast next year.
What I was actually thinking is let him and Ragin ride in the car. They
Yeah.
follow us.
Yeah.
And there's a colleague of mine, Dan, who
Right.
actually does these. He actually cycled to, I think he went to Dar es Salaam.
Nice.
He cycled to Mombasa and he does it for charity purposes. He said, I'm happy to train you. So I'm saying, okay, let me start off the year training. I want you there with me too. This will be the three of us. Me, you, and
Inshallah,
Dan.
bro.
Inshallah.
Let's do it.
Is this the Somali inshallah or inshallah never
Oh.
comes?
No. I'm a firm believer in God willing, man. Look, it's as simple as this.
We'll document it.
Whatever you require from me, we do. It takes look. You know this, yeah. You've trained since we knew each other, and you will get your muscles to a point where they will be fully effective. And I mean, you will feel no pain. You will be able to do whatever is required during training and on the days to get to Mombasa.
Yeah,
Nihapa.
it's a mental game.
99% mental.
Okay, let me ask you this. Leading up to that, again, you seem like a guy that just you put your mind to something, you do it the next day. You don't build up momentum. Personalities are very different, I understand. And I'm adopting to try and be like you, where I have this thing where I need to build momentum to get up to it and then I go and do it, which is not a very good way to do it. But let's say for the cycling aspect, if I want to get to the level where I can cycle to Mombasa like you did, 2-part question. How was your experience of doing that? And what did you do before to get in shape for that?
Jesus Christ. I had to put on body weight, so my storage capacity was better, so I put on weight. I ate, so I could
And
just...
were you eating anything or were you eating clean?
I was eating clean, but more.
And so, like, what was your typical meal every
I
day?
would be having my chickens, my rice, my fish, my rice, everything rice and chicken, rice and fish, my greens. I'd be having my whey, a lot of my whey.
Whey protein?
Yeah, so what you do is you need to build glycogen levels as well. You need to have storage of that. So, and then that's one thing. And then I trained insane. I ran.
Yeah, clearly I gave you a workout schedule. That's insane.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. And it's like things complement you. If you cross train, so in order to cycle better, you run. If you run, it helps cycling. In order to run better, if you swim, you run better. So ultimately, it's a combination of things. So I cross trained. In 19 days, I did about 2,000 kilometers of cycling, which was mad. And you just go for it. So that's a lead up. How was the event? Day 1 to Makindu. Started in the morning, 4 in the morning. I wanted to quit after 15 minutes. And I didn't. Got to Salama and the sun came up and I'm like, hallelujah, man, we're here. Let's do this. Reached there, Lala the night. The next day, went to Voi. Slept at Voi Wildlife Lodge. Third day, which was the hardest. Coast.
Let me ask you this. So it took you 3 days.
And about 18,000 calories, yeah. 19,000.
Vish, you ready for a 3-day expedition?
Let's do it.
Yallah.
I love cycling.
Yallah. Well, let's all do it. I will help you whatever it's in line with one of my goals for my ultimate goal next year. Anyway, it's in line with that.
Okay.
So I'm down for this.
So, okay, the way I'm looking at it is,
But let's find a charity as well. Huh? So let's
no, for
support it through
sure.
a charity.
Yes.
And kaboom, there's one I did it for. The Kenyakesha School for Girls in Diani sides,
Yeah.
Kwale. So if we find a charity attached to it, let's do it.
Do I have to wear those?
Sexy ninis.
Yeah, those
I think you'd look quite dope.
those human condoms.
Hey,
Sorry.
and that one with a pad. So I didn't even use those, man, because your bums are gonna hurt anyway.
Yeah, I heard your skin shapes up there and stuff.
My
yeah.
guy, let me not lie to you, Bana. It was painful.
Can't I just wear these Sunday best shorts? And
You train, see what works, but you're gonna need some proper gel, huh? You'll understand what being on a saddle means. Yeah.
listen, you're my guru. We're gonna go.
Don't know about that.
We're gonna go shopping for all these things. You're like, Sajid, this is for the nut crack. Put that stuff there. You're gonna be safe. I'm using your references as points. So,
Clothing is one thing, huh? Solar and solar. Right? The heat up there is one thing. It was about 40 degrees at one point, huh?
Jesus
so the
Christ.
tarmac is burning you with the heat. And it's also coming up there. So you're a sandwich with the heat. So you're going to train in the heat. We're going to train in the heat. And when you go to Namanga, because that's the best training ground, I feel, you have elevation, you've got crosswinds which are pushing you, and you're on your quads and you're going and it's solar. So the entire training regime is going to be Namanga.
So you cycle from here to Namanga.
Well, you start in Kisarian, which is about 130 there,
Yeah.
then drive back. That's on the weekends. So you do about 100 Ks in the week, like just do 20, 30 a day. Then you do 130 on a Sunday.
Okay. So the first thing is, okay, as a beginner, then what would you recommend the first steps to do? Obviously, getting a bike.
Get a bicycle?
Things I heard they're quite expensive.
Not really. You can get a decent bicycle for about 30, 40K.
Okay.
Yeah. Start cycling. Time on the saddle. There's certain techniques that you need to learn.
Okay.
And then you start working on your core. So it's your core, your back, and your legs. Actually, it's a full body workout mainly, but it's your core, your legs, and your back, I'd say. And you try and lighten your load.
Right. So obviously you need to lose weight quite a bit. You need to
I
strengthen
think
all this.
work towards strengthening your body via losing weight.
Okay. And maybe before we commit to that, we're doing it with you. I mean, obviously I want to do it and I want to do it with you, but you also have a very active year coming up ahead. I know you have Ironmans planned. What is in your calendar schedule? Because I want to ask where we can fit this in, and I want to fit it in because you need a few months of recovery after you do some intense, crazy.
Actually, you don't. You just need a week of coast and you're okay. I mean, a week after coast and you're sour.
You're sour then, yeah?
Yeah.
So what if we do it towards November? So it's basically me training up towards the year,
Yeah.
getting wherever I need to go to the regime, having touch points with you. We can vlog about those touch points, and then doing it in November with a charity attached to it at the back.
That's cool because I think what I'm planning to do is in September.
Okay.
My first ever. So, yeah, it works with my training regime.
So if it does, let's shake on it. November. Dan, if you're watching, we'll also virtually add your handshake here.
God willing, man.
Vish, don't back out now and say, oh, I have to go to India. Sijui, there's Shah Rukh Khan playing on concert or something. But yeah, so November. Fuck, so we've committed to it. It's now.
It's out there. Everyone knows. Yeah, all of you know he's cycling to the coast. We make a plan. You train sensible. You train hard. You work towards that goal. And no matter what the hell happens, you just keep training. The more time you're on a saddle, the better.
Vish is actually
This
doing
guy's doing one of these. Hey, let's baptize Vish now. Yeah. The hardest bit is not even us cycling. It's him in the car at 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers per hour for 8 hours a day.
We'll just buy him Red Bulls, Monsters. We'll buy him a shit ton of M&Ms. And plus he'll be in the big car, so he'll be comfortable. He can pump Shub in the background, keep us motivated.
No, the training is a lot of fun. Like you learn a lot, you experience. I mean, cycling is one of the coolest things ever.
But you know what appeals to me? You know the temple in Makindu?
Yeah.
Bro.
When you reach there, it's magic. You see the flag from far, and you're like.
Like here's what I'll tell you. I know a lot of people say it's for Singhs and certain religions. To be honest, they're open to everyone. and my best friend got married there, and I stayed there. It is unexplainable how positive of a feedback everyone who goes there has. The energy, the vibe of the place, the peacefulness, the calmness.
It's a magical place.
It's something that you can't explain.
Yeah.
And I would highly encourage anyone, if you're in Kenya and you're on your way to Mombasa and you're driving down, just visit the temple in Makindu. There's something unearthly about that place.
I'll tell you what, you talk about magic. When I reached Makindu, you know Makindu Road, of course, the famous mosque.
Gee, yes.
Come on day 3. I exaggerate not. As we're reaching, it's 4 we left in the morning from Voi, and it's all uphill on day 3, right?
Yeah.
I'll never forget it. I've got a little video as well where the sun comes up just on top of the, what do you call the on top of the
The
mosque?
crescent?
On top of the mosque, you have the,
I know what you're
Yeah.
referring to. It.
literally there. As I'm PTing the mosque, it's just at the top.
Beautiful.
Absolute magic, you know? And you just pray to God. There's a lot of prayer, man. I swear we prayed. So when I say we, my driver at the back and my pacer, I prayed. You just have to pray.
And the other thing is,
You pray.
Makindu, the temple, the food, bro, prates.
Yeah. Your prontas are going to have to chill, kidogo, if you're training for this, huh?
Come on,
Oh,
man.
yes.
That was the highlight of the
No,
cycling
you can
trip.
eat pronte when we get there. But for training, we'll minimize the pronte.
Bro, you know they give you those platters, and then there's like potatoes,
Dude, I'm
there's
hungry,
like
stop it.
potatoes, and then there's the mitai.
Madi dal.
Madi dal.
Ay, bus.
Paji, get the- you don't even want to go. You know, the thing is, then eventually, so at my friend's wedding, we ended up there. But now because a lot of his family was coming in, we had to move out and find another hotel.
Right.
But we wouldn't leave the kitchen. We're like, chill, let us eat first. Because now we're going to go and find a lodge outside.
Yeah.
But man, it is a magical
I actually stayed at the Mada Hotel,
Lamada.
which is it's just a couple of clicks away in Hunter's Lodge.
Okay.
So I stayed there. I think there's a function going on at the Gurdwara, so I didn't stay there.
Okay.
Yeah. But I certainly went there for langar.
It is an amazing place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bish, you've been there, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me more about that Ironman. Where are you going to do that?
So I want to do the first one, hopefully in the flattest one possible, which is Turkey, I think.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah. So I don't want to look. I'm not trained, and for it, an Ironman training is an entirely different ball game. You're swimming for about 3 kilometers in the ocean. You're cycling 90, and you're running a half marathon at the end. So that's a half Ironman.
Half marathon is 21 kilometers.
Yeah. So it's a lot.
And you've committed to doing it?
Mentally, I'm in it. Yeah. I think what I've achieved this year, I've done my triathlons, I've done my marathons, I've done personal bests and everything. So I did Mombasa, and now I just want to level up next year and just do whatever comes. I think there's 6 triathlons next year, or 5 in a calendar. So including our Mombasa thing. So the plan is just work towards it. Every event that comes will be a training session for me anyway. So ultimately up here, I'm like, I need to do this now.
Okay. Yeah. And so when does that training regime start? Has it already started?
It has. I've been kind of playing with strength training and cardio now for the past 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I've not strength trained in 4 years, and I have been doing it.
I had to connect you with Leon, my coach, for the strength training elements. Yeah. In fact, you were telling me, I think the last time we spoke, you were wondering how to put on muscle, right?
I've actually put on 6 kilos of it since I met you.
Pretty amazing.
I was 62 kilos when I met you, and I'm 68 now.
Okay. What are you doing differently now between then?
I do a lot of bodyweight training, calisthenics. I do repetitive HIIT exercises. I'm doing a lot of interval training as well, which is painful.
Okay, so have you tried just standard bodybuilding procedures?
I went into bodybuilding and I started becoming heavier.
Right.
So then my asthma started bugging me. So I cut the weights down and just went repetitive more. I went more into repetitions and volume. Okay. So that I want to keep myself still small versus big.
Right.
Because when I run, it's just difficult.
No, I understand.
So just keep myself small, but strength. I was doing simple when I was trying to do shoulder press before. I was doing a simple 8 kg. And in 3 weeks, I went up to 9, 18, 20 kgs on shoulder press.
Nice.
So then I reduced it to like 14. So I just want to stay smaller, leaner, and still have strength versus body
Right.
build.
But you see, that's the big misconception about bodybuilding is that you bulk up. The element of bulking up is your nutrition intake, right? If you eat to look big, you will look big.
Okay.
But if you lift weight, you're doing whatever you have to do on the stamina and cardio side, you will still build muscle endurance, muscle strength. It's just your nutrition is the guiding factor of how you stack on weight.
So minimize it, I suppose, yeah? Or
No,
balance
so it depends on what your long-term goals are. So for me, for example, body composition is one of the end goals, is to look well without a shirt off. It's more for the visual look. Attached to that as a secondary, tertiary element is be able to look good and feel good, right? So the calisthenics elements, the mobility elements, you have a body that looks decently well but can perform and function. It's not the primary function. So the primary function is I want to build muscle. So I will do a standard bodybuilding split like push-pull legs, or I do upper, lower. And the nutrition side of things will now dictate how I want to go. So if I want to cut down, obviously I will have to eat less and then introduce also some sort of calorie burn specific activity, which is cardio. If I stop losing weight, I either eat less and less and less or do more and more and more on the cardio side. However, that bodybuilding routine stays consistent. What Lee does now is he gives me touch points. We touch base on every week. Every week, he looks at how far I've come along, whether it's now on the composition side, it's on the cardio endurance side.
Okay.
And then he basically articulates where I have to go from there. So he's essentially my true north. He just tells me where to follow. I just have to touch base and make sure I'm going in the right direction. Sometimes it helps having a person who's that educated and that well versed in biomechanics of the body and the nutrition side of things. I would highly recommend it. I'll connect both of you.
Okay.
Just have a conversation with him. Speak to him about your goals. It's always good to hear a differing opinion.
Absolutely.
Right? Because what you see on the internet is there's so much information out there, which is beautiful. But then how do you see the trees from the forest?
Yeah.
There's too much of it out there. And he sort of helps me split the bullshit apart and focus on what I have to. And to be honest, he's got me this far. I plan on using him even now for this Mombasa element.
Yeah.
So I will connect both of you, and then you let me know how it goes.
Sure, man. No worries.
But I think what you're doing so far, if it's working for you, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Keep up with
I think, Sajid, you're right. I'm dabbling with what I need to do next year, which is a combination. So there's this guy who I follow on Insta. He's called Shane. He's Welsh. And he's training for his first ever full Ironman. Phenomenal guy. And he's on day 56 of 365. And he's introduced something very cool, which I saw even yesterday. It's called being a hybrid.
Hybrid athlete.
I actually really like that word.
What is
A hybrid athlete is a bodybuilder, a cyclist, a runner, and a swimmer. You're a hybrid. So that is actually, I think I want to start identifying with that a bit more. It even sounds, pardon me, really cool. So if you can do all that as what they call a hybrid, then you're in the game. So I'm dabbling with that till next year.
Right.
Come back in Jan and then just fix a routine.
Right.
Where I have a combo of bodybuilding and then my 3 elements, and I'm there.
You know, one thing that genuinely surprised me, which is how good it is, and Vish and I, we did a video on Muay Thai. He forced me to go there.
Oh, I saw that video, man. You struggled. This guy's a hardcore guy. You struggle. But you did so well.
Surprisingly,
Your cardio is not as bad as you think it is.
I've got good cardio.
Huh?
I've got good cardio.
I think, okay, that's a story for a beer, maybe.
Not a cardio TK.
Okay.
First class cardio.
Okay. That's what she
haram,
said.
Haram. But it showed me that I've got so many parts of my body
Yeah.
that have not been used.
Yeah.
And I think, to be honest, the best athletes in the world are mixed martial arts athletes. You know? They have the strength, they have the endurance, they have the capacity and mobility to
Balance.
go for a fight for 25 minutes non-stop.
That's hard.
have you ever, like, when you get in a fight, 30 seconds, you're winded, man.
Yeah.
And here, these guys are taking you on the ground, they're pummeling you using all parts of your body, and they genuinely want to kill you. And they're going 100% for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
That is an endurance like I've never felt. So when I was training in this Muay Thai element, I realized, man, if I was in a street fight, I would get my ass whooped by professional fighters. So one of the other things I want to do is build up that skill, learn how to fight, learn how to defend yourself, but also, as a result, learn how to use my body well.
Yeah.
I think that is one element that people who've never done any sort of fighting regime never underestimate. Boxers, Muay Thai artists, or just mixed martial artists on themselves.
That's hardcore, man.
They're killers.
Yeah.
They're killers. They're literally savages.
You keep your hands in the air for 30 seconds, a minute. Keep your hands in the air. Just keep jabbing. You're dead.
Respect to MMA fighters.
Absolutely,
I mean,
man.
hands down.
Respect to Vish, man.
Whoever does that, Vish.
Legend.
Vish will kick his ass. Chapa the guy on Gumi.
Yeah.
So, okay, you've got all this mapped out now. You've got all this training regime.
Yeah.
You've got all this structure. You've got your corporate
God
job.
willing, we do it. Yeah.
You've got a corporate job too. No, in the sense that you're an entrepreneur. How do you find the balance? And that's the biggest struggle for me, is balancing this YouTube, balancing fitness, balancing personal and professional relationships. You smile and you do it. How are you balancing all this, bro?
Do you know what Sadhguru said? There's no such thing as life balancing. You balance it. Life doesn't balance it. Simple. I want to have a cup of tea, I have a cup of tea. I need to go for a meeting, I go for a meeting. I balance me. I will plan my work, I'll plan my training, I'll plan my spiritual side, I plan it. There's no such thing as a balance. As in, there's no such thing as finding a balance. You want it bad enough, which is it's kind of one of my slogans. You just go out and do exactly what you want to do every day. You do it. If you're working like you work damn hard, you work till 6, 7, and you want to run in the evening, go run in the evening. You want to swim, go swim. You want to bodybuild. If the gym's closed, buy a couple of weights and do it at home. If you want it bad enough, Saj, you do it. If you don't, then you don't. Simple.
That's true.
Straight up, man. You are the one who told me 1, 2, 3, go, right?
Yes. In fact, to speak of that, that's one of the things Butch and I discussed on our last recording is, if you're ever stuck in life, one of the things you should do is, if you're looking for motivation to go, is the 1, 2, 3 method, where you just say, you count to yourself 1, 2, 3, and you get up and do what you have to do.
I swear on God. God's my witness. I've done that twice, your method. I didn't want to run in the evening because I train in the morning. I train twice a day. I just said 1, 2, 3, go.
You don't think about it.
Well, I did. I did after I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I reached 50. I'm just kidding. But it's like, just go and do. Just go and do. Simple.
Okay. It's a fantastic method, and I highly encourage people to go and look at it. Is 1, 2, 3, get up, play the guitar. 1, 2, 3, get up, go for a run. Don't think about it, just do commit. And then while you're in the motion of doing those things, what you realize very slowly is it gets you in the routine and pattern of just getting up and doing things without seeking some sort of motivation.
Yeah. And when someone's talking BS 1, 2, 3, you're talking BS.
Yes.
Same difference. It works there as well.
Now, Butch, you're this well-rounded man, but as they say, behind every man is a successful woman.
Oh, yeah.
Sonia.
You mean boss?
Boss.
The boss.
She's kept you grounded.
20 years, man.
Tell me about your relationships. Now, I look at you as an elder brother. Mashallah, you've had a relationship that stretched this long. Some of us here...
I've got 5 relationships spanning over 30 years, but it's okay. As in 5 together, guys. This one's a stud.
Wait,
you don't see the women on social media, all of you.
Don't say
whoever
that.
the hell's watching
You're spoiling my reputation.
He has a good reputation with many women. Huh? Whoever's watching this. Vish, tell us.
Vish doesn't go into well, he reads half my DMs because he manages my social media. Yeah? But genuinely, my question to you is, in this modern day and age, there is a serious commitment issue. And I think, I'm not putting it out for everyone, but just in maybe the circles I roam. Usually what happens is, because of the .com generation, the Instagramification, TikTok, everything is accessible. So is relationships. What happens is you meet someone, you enter into a situation where there's a bit of a rough patch. There's no patience now to resolve it. They're like, you know what? The other people in my DMs, swipe left, swipe right.
Yeah,
Let's move on to the next person. Whereas you look at 10, 15 years ago, you have a problem, you sit down and you face it. 20 years is a very, very long time to be in a relationship. I mean, what advice would you give me to say, okay, Sajid, if you find a woman, if you want to make this work, these are the things you have to do. These are the steps to follow. Or are there any steps?
First of all, you can't be this good looking, dude. How are you going to stick with one chick if you're this good looking? So what the hell, man?
Besharam.
Look, it's very simple, man. If you want it bad enough, you go for it. You're right. Swipe left, swipe right. People are like, I have an option. This chick DM me. This chick insted me. You know, you're just cooking dal roti every day. She'll cook chicken for me. She can tolerate me. You whatever, man. I think the definition of true love, you can love someone, but being in love is another thing. You come home, you know, and you know the lights are on, and you're like, she's left it on again. You turn it off. You see her shoes. You're smiling because she's just left it there. Just constant reminders of the human being in your day. If you can come to a place in your life where you see that person in your day through what you're doing, conversations with people, little funny things, you know that that's the person who's meant to be with you. You know, you speak to your missus 5, 6, 7 times a day. How's it going? It becomes a very livable relationship. A lot of people have to try. You don't try, Bona. If it's that person for you, it's so natural. But even when you fight. So me and the little one, Bona, when we fight, so Sonia's a little human, yeah? I can't be angry with her too long, Bona. You just see the munchkin. You know, there's a video. She's going to hate me for this, of a parrot stomping its feet and walking around, and you can hear it stomping. And then every time I picture her angry, gussa, stomping her feet, I picture that parrot. So then my gussa just disappears, right?
Yeah.
Jokes aside, I think there's been ups and downs and everything, but if you really want the person, you know, loving is easy, but being able to put up with the person, vice versa, is hard, huh?
I guess your mantra seems pretty straightforward, whether it's your professional aspect, your personal aspect, your fitness regime is, if you want something, then do it. There's just no secret sauce.
Sajid,
just commit to it.
you know what? The past couple of months have taught me that life is short, huh? Shorter than I think. If you don't go the hell for what you want now, and you think I've got tomorrow, and God has another plan, you're dead. You're loving the person, you're wanting to train, you're wanting to cycle, you're wanting to eat. I don't understand why humanity are not running towards what the hell they want, because I'm going to wake up in the morning, I've got tomorrow, that's crap, man. So if you want it bad enough, go out and do it now. Because Kesho, my mom disappeared like that. My people have gone. This has happened. I want a cup of coffee, go have it. Obviously, I'm not saying do stupid things, yeah? But if you want good things in your life, now. Do it now. Do it now. You put it out there, you have aspirations, plan them and go and do. And do it right. But go and do. Don't just say and don't. Because that's a fail, man, I think.
Life's short.
Sana, man. Forget even life is short. That's a very big cliche. Life is there to grab. For however, you might have 90 years, you might have 19. But grab it now. You want to go, if you can afford that nice cup of tea, go have it. If you want it. You want to say hi to that person? Say hi. You want to forgive, man. Do it now, because Kesho is not confirmed, Bona. You get, I think.
No, I think that comes from a place of pain and experience that you're talking about.
Yeah, you don't mess with the inevitable. Work with, be grateful. I just spoke to a very smart soul earlier on before we started doing this interview, and she made it very clear that you take things in the positive way, and just go out and do it right.
I respect that.
Just for everyone to know, Vish's sister Arti.
The beacon of light, eh?
Yeah, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I was manifesting, looking for my guru once again, and I come
Yeah,
here.
tell me about that. That's something interesting, very interesting happened this morning. What?
Yeah.
It was weird. It's like divine intervention.
God is amazing.
So
man.
I was running late, and I told you I'd be 15, 20
He was
minutes
with
late.
another girl, apparently in a meeting. Check
This
even
guy's
Vishnu.
gonna get me. This guy's gonna get me Melissa.
Tunajua nilikuwa msichana, si ndio? Anyhow. No,
Wait, man, I'm telling you, I'm gonna get killed here.
all your honeys are on your WhatsApp right now.
Wait, stop.
Really? What Butch is saying? Who is she? Is it Priya? Is it
Butch, stop. You're gonna-
Is it Angelina? They're all. I can even hear the damn thing beeping. Turn that phone off, bro. Rami.
We're gonna have to cut this part out.
Now all this is edited, yeah. Sawa.
No, we'll leave it in. Just because I love you. But I was running a bit late with genuine reasons. And you ended up coming here much earlier than expected.
Yeah.
I'll leave it to you to tell the rest of the story.
Look, last week we sent another person to God. Heavy week. God rest your soul.
God rest his soul.
Once again, you're looking for, answers and this and that. And then, other things happen in life and you have aspirations and those things kind of fall down again. And you're like, shit, I'm just having a really crap week. The whole year has been phenomenal. And then now, all of a sudden, it's from high and it's just... So I was on my phone and I was just cleaning up my apps and everything. And then Sadhguru is there. And in March this year, I did some spiritual work and it worked really well. And then I brought Sadhguru's app back onto my home screen and I just clicked on it yesterday and I'm like, cool. Today I had left home early because I like to be early where I go. Obviously you messaged saying you're going to be late. I said, cool, no worries. And then I called Vish and I'm like, dude, I'm here early. So I came upstairs and I was just talking to Auntie and Vish and everything and like introduces me to his sis, Arti, who lives in Bombay, etc., etc. And ironically, we start speaking about spiritual journeys and finding myself. And last night I'm speaking to another friend of mine who's like, let's meditate. And I'm like, let's do it next year. At the same time, I'm finding my footing with Sadhguru again, or whoever my, guru is going to be. I'm here early. I'm sitting with Arti and we go through this whole soulful journey of where I feel I need to be because you were late. And I'm like, I'm so thankful you were late because it's kind of fixed a few things in my head. I'm sick and tired of not being grateful for the small things because, as I said to you earlier, they can go. You want more money, you want more this, you want more that, and you're unhappy because you didn't get it. But the reality is you're breathing. You have 4 of your favorite people in your life alive and you're healthy. Bus. I need to go with the hell back to basics, Sajid. I'm done. Over the past 12 weeks, I've been in another place maybe, but I need to reset my head. And this conversation this morning has kind of edged me that way. And I'm grateful for, once again, you being late and God's plan. Thanks, man.
Now I'm gonna come late, metaphorically speaking, and also in reality.
Yeah.
But let's to wind things up, Butch. Give me your next 5 years plan because you've got such a heavy. I think, how do I say, you've got renowned perspective, right? It's something that has aligned you towards these goals. What you if you don't mind me saying, you're 47, 48?
48, yeah. 15 couple, man.
You're touching 50. You're running marathons. You're doing things that 50-year-olds traditionally are not supposed to do. You're breaking the norm. What are the 5 years planned for you? What are you looking at achieving?
Look, Saj, I'll tell you this, yeah. There are a lot of people that are doing a lot of the things I do. And they're phenomenal, yeah. They're amazing, they're strong. I try and mix it up. I just don't want to just run. I don't want to cycle. I don't want to swim. I play a bit of football. I want to do other things which will make me stronger. My regime that you talked about earlier in a week, I want to up that. Because running, cycling, swimming, cool. Yeah, it's amazing. Training at the gym, cool. But when you can do other aspects which make you stronger, I feel better as a human being. My 5-year plan is to improve on that. I think if God wills me to stay alive the next 5 years, I want to keep leveling up every year. So next year I do this. Following year we see. Obviously, I want my work to improve. Everyone to stay healthy. And if I can mentor a few more people, I still mentor a few people, then it'll be good. I think people need to just understand that just damn well go and get what you want now. And if this message of today can just go to people out of everything, forget me. And you in this it's the message to people is just please God and just do what you want correctly and go and do it now. Don't wait. And I think it'll be a more fulfilling life.
Let me ask you, if I want to, or if anyone who's listening wants to be your mentor after seeing this podcast and listening to this podcast, what can I do to say, Butch, I need you to coach me?
Just holler, man. I got you.
I think I need to have these touch points with you where, because honestly, I really admire how far you've come.
Thanks,
brother.
buddy.
I take you like an elder brother, and it's nice to see that someone who has that same energy, energy feeds off energy.
Yeah.
And I just feel so positive being around you that you could also give it to me straight. You don't bullshit around. And I need that in my life. I need someone who I can say, okay, Butch, this is where I'm at. And I know I'm supposed to go here. This is what I've done. And
Sajid,
you'll check that bullshit.
Everybody needs their 6. You know what their 6 is, yeah? So in the military, your 6 is the person behind you, yeah? That's your 6. Once you have your 6, apart from your loved ones at home, your family, once you have your 6 who's got your back, yeah, kabisa, in the journey that you want them to be with you, maybe it's work or maybe it's your health or your fitness journey. Once you have that person and you've aligned your goals, your sawa, just make sure you want it bad enough. I cannot reiterate that. That's it. So if you need me, I'm there. It's as simple as that. I'm not saying I'm the next best thing after bread, but I've tried to do what I can, and I'm going to keep pushing myself as much as I can. And as far as I can go physically, I'll keep going.
So let's say 2024, here's to wanting it bad enough. And here's to getting
Vibaya sana, bro. Apo.
Which I really appreciate it.
God bless you, man.
Thank you for taking the time to
Cheers,
do this again.
Vish. Thank you.
Vish, thanks for the setup. Guys, this has been Coffee Pump episode 9. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.
My man.